We have, they're all in here, I put the same people on there, up here. Now.
Got just a little after 6 here for this Board of Education meeting for March the 4th, 2024, almost in February. Forgive me. We'll go ahead back into open session and we'll start first here with the Pledge of Allegiance. If you stand, we'll repeat the pledge together. I pledge allegiance to the flag
of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you. Next, we've got approval of the agenda. Have anything to change on the agenda?
Mr. Chairman, there are two things that I would like for us to consider about the agenda. One is move the personnel from the consent agenda. And the other one is to add the middle school roof.
We've moved personnel out of the consent, put it as the first action item on there. And I guess it's fine with the board if you want to add that last, the roof as number 8 under action.
That'll be fine. Yeah.
Any other? Hearing none, I'll entertain a motion to approve the amended agenda.
I know we approve the amended agenda.
Do I have a second?
Second.
Any other questions or comments? Hearing none, all those in favor, raise your hands. Motion carried. Next, we've got comments from the superintendent. Dr. Costa has been busy.
We've all been quite busy, and of course, this time of year, when it starts getting warmer outside, it seems it coincides with all kinds of different activities going on in our schools. And you all may have seen that we started putting our weekly newsletter that the board has been getting, along with some additional updates online, so everybody can see some of those successes where we highlight teachers and students and just good things all around going on within our schools. And I just want to share some of the things that we have had out there lately. We have a 144 weight class state champion at the high school in Luke. And Lucas placed 6th in the state, and we had another student who made it to states and was just a couple of rounds short of placing. So our wrestlers are doing fantastic yet for another year, and we're really proud of them. And if you didn't go to the game on Friday night, the girls basketball game, wow, were they outstanding. They started off with a 16-0 lead, and I think still won by double digits. They had an amazing performance in that second round, and they'll be playing again tomorrow night at West Rowan High School. So if you're traveling, it's not that far. And so if you want to go see our girls play, I think it's 6 o'clock tomorrow. I'm sure they would appreciate a lot of purple. Don't wear blue because West Rowan is blue. I know that because I was in that district beforehand. But our Lady Huskies are doing a phenomenal job. Our band performance, we have a first-year band teacher, and he's doing a fantastic job, I think, with his kids. He also brought some of his colleagues there to help with the adjudication. It was kind of a practice for their upcoming MPA performance. And wow, the kids did a fantastic job. Lots of soloists in a couple of the different songs. I was just really proud of how they've come along this school year. They're small, but boy, are they mighty, and the beautiful sounds that they get out of their band. Me being a former band mom, truly appreciated the musical performance again on Friday night. This morning, we had our Mountain View Elementary School were the champions of the Battle of the Books for elementary, and the middle school was the champion of the Battle of the Books for middle school. And of course, because we have sixth graders in our elementary schools, sixth grade teams competed against the middle school. And this year, the students, first of all, the elementary performance, I've never seen such a tight race. I think they were 42, 43, 44, and 46 points. And Miss Eldrith was there the entire day to be the official timekeeper. Right?
Yeah.
That's a job that I had one time, and I don't think I'm allowed to do that again because I don't pay enough attention, but she can stay focused for that long. But she did an amazing job. We've had an ELA adoption going on. So those of you interested in curriculum, our teachers, and staff members have been really digging into curriculum for our kindergarten through 8th grade English and language arts. Janet came by to look at some of the books as well. Miss Ward came by. We've had quite a few parents at open night so that during the day or of an evening, our parents can ask questions about it. So we're really proud of the process and the time that Casey and Julie and their teams have been putting into this ELA adoption. A student who's going to come talk to you all during the April board meeting, Paige Roten was selected as one of 10 students in the state to serve on Superintendent Catherine Truitt's Student Advisory Council. I had the privilege of meeting with her today. She's really excited about it. She's going to come talk to some of you all in this room about her experience and then come talk to the board so that we can help her articulate best what the needs are here in the Northwest and especially Ashe County, but she represents 20 counties in the Northwest. So we're really proud of her. This past week, Be Proud had their big 18-wheeler or whatever it is at Ashe County High School. And we had students who were able to get into simulators to see what work is like in ways that they would never be able to experience. So being able to lift heavy machinery, all kinds of different simulators out there. So we're really thankful for our CTE program and the high school for making that happen. Students from the early college also participated. So we had a lot of kids who were able to be exposed to careers and jobs that otherwise they wouldn't get a chance to see. So that was really special. We had a freshman at Ashe County Early College, Henry, who addressed the North Carolina caucus of the National Association of Counties, or the North Carolina Association of Counties in Washington, D.C. And so he was able to have a platform to speak to the different representatives, mostly county commissioners, who were there to advocate for North Carolina. So we're really proud that we've had a student who had a platform to share his voice. Culinary arts students at the high school, Jennifer and David, won culinary awards at Johnson and Wales. And Jennifer will be competing in the national competition in Seattle, Washington, coming up this summer. So that's really outstanding that we're going to have someone from Ashe County represented on that national stage. We have pre-K dial screening coming up. And so on the 18th through the 21st of this month here in March. And so I know our elementary schools are gearing up to see our new kindergartners that'll come to school in August and get to know families. So we're excited to see them in our schools. So if you have a pre-K student out there and you should be in Ashe County schools, come on out and see us. We'd love to have you, love to share with you some of the good things going on in our elementary schools, but also to make sure your child's kindergarten ready. So we're looking forward to that time coming up here in a couple of weeks. And we had a third grader, guys, third grader to win the spelling bee this year. And I'll tell you, here's Miss Polly, this is your shirt. But you guys can see this, it was designed by, wow, sorry to everybody at home, you had to wear earplugs for that. But the shirt was designed by an Ashe County early college student, and Brody, a third grader at Mountain View, won the county spelling bee. And let me tell you, that little guy was as smart as they come. And he was in conversation, using words that are taught in high school biology. So, and I know that because I'm a former biology teacher, but he's like, I think he had to spell at one point in time the word apparatus. And he said, is that like the Golgi apparatus? I said, okay, third grade. So high school, look out. You've got some smart ones coming. And of course, another thing that I think is really, really exciting opportunity. Our high school has the opportunity through some grant funding of, I think, of $1,000 to start a men's volleyball club team. And so our girls volleyball coach, I think, is going to now lead that club team. And I think they had an interest meeting with 18 students who showed up. So right away, they're going to be able to field that. And I'll look for that sport, or that to become a sport, through the High School Athletics Association in the next couple of years. So just another opportunity for our students to have something exciting within our schools. And so something also to be proud of. And then I think some of the biggest news, if I do have to say so, Friday was a really great day for Ashe County schools and Ashe County in general. And we've got a lot of people to thank, but we received an additional $12 million toward the new middle school, bringing our total grant funding that we've written, and several people in this room helped out with that grant. $52 million of state grant funding is coming to help fund the middle school. So I think that's something to be commended. And aside from our Board of Education and the wonderful partners we have with our county commissioners who help to be great advocates for Ashe County and Ashe County schools, but thank you to Catherine Truitt, our state superintendent, Ralph Hayes, who showed up as well on Friday to help to give that award, and Ray Pickett, our North Carolina House member, for really advocating for this funding so that we have some additional ways to support the inflated costs that we're seeing with building a new school, but really helping us to get what we want, so that, or not just what we want, but what we need for our students here in Ashe County. I think it's a great thing. So you can also see lots of upcoming dates and announcements that are on the list. Some of the very same things that we've talked about here tonight. We have more continuing. And then we have two very special presentations. One of them is not on the list because it needed to be a surprise, and we're going to do that one first. So I know board members don't like surprises, but this is a good thing for you all. And this is a North Carolina School Boards Association Academy of School Boardsmanship Certificates. The North Carolina School Boards Association strives to offer board members up-to-date and relevant educational training opportunities. Each academy year runs from July 1 to June 30th. Board members must earn a minimum of 30 hours of training annually, as approved by the local Board of Education and reviewed by the North Carolina School Boards Association. Once this minimum requirement has been met, annual recognition will be given. If a board member chooses not to participate in activities or has less than the required hours for the current academy year, the member's previous achievement level is not penalized. So enclosed are your board member certificates, and we have one to honor the entire Ashe County Schools Board of Education as the Silver Bell Award for whole board training. And so the training that you all, that we brought in last year, and the other, we applied for it. And so you guys have received a silver award for last year's training.
If you guys can take a picture while Paul in the background.
Yep.
I knew there was a reason behind all those meetings.
There was a reason by all that behind all that training. If you want to come around.
You're talking.
And so, for the Ashe County Schools Board of Education. Thank you. There we go. Make it formal. There you go.
That makes for two surprises in less than a week. With the board, our commissioners snuck us in on a false meeting last Friday.
Well, I had them.
But you
I-
might have had something to do with that too.
Yeah,
Mhm.
we may have written the grant, but they definitely tried to surprise us with it on Friday, but I'm not one for too many surprises. So I ask everybody under the sun until I pretty much had a good idea of what was going on for Friday. But I'm very thankful. Those are the kind of surprises that we absolutely love. And so the final thing for this evening is Carolina West. So Ms. Elders, do you want to share? I mean, I've got
Well,
what you wrote.
I didn't even look, you can read that part, but this opportunity came about because I was having trouble with my phone and I called this young man from Carolina West, and a very nice young man, Devin Hewitt, who's not here tonight. He couldn't come. He came last year. And then he called me back and I'm going, oh, you got my problem fixed. He said, no, but I've got an opportunity for you. So he wanted us to present monies that we share with Carolina West. You can take your phone bill and they'll give 3% of it to any school that you want them to give it to in Ashe County, which is awesome news. And so I did, and then they came and made presentations last year. And we're so excited about this program because you don't have to do anything but fill out the form, and then we get money back for whatever we need that money for. So, I'm all about that, getting money back for doing that. So if there's other things on that note, I just sent it to Dr. Cox because she usually runs this kind of part if she wants to say anything else about that.
So the donation, from what I understand, is a check to Ashe County Schools of $11,696.54, which is a huge amount. That means our community has selected our schools as recipients of this money. So thank you.
And if you haven't signed up, please do so.
And this amount only represents half of the year. So the total amount for last year was almost $23,000. So please get everybody that you can to go online, register, and
To re-register
you have to
now.
re-register
So a lot of
every
people are signed up and you didn't have to do that before, so that's why we're trying to get the word out. So that if they don't re-register, it'll go away.
Good morning.
There you go. See you there. There we go. On 30.
There is a QR code. I gave Amy some of the papers and they have QR codes. And if you need us to get them to all the schools for all the students, we'll be more than glad to do that.
It would be wonderful.
So, yeah.
So that way you can get them out.
Yeah.
Okay.
Get it posted on our website. Yep. Yes.
So these folks came all the way from Wilkesboro
Thank
to
you.
present
Except for
this
Daisy.
for us.
She's from up here, Daisy.
Daisy's from up here.
See her on Mount Jefferson Road.
Yeah, that's
So we want to make sure we get them, get it out there.
Perfect, thank you.
That's all. I mean, that's a lot of great things. I'm sure there's more that I missed, but that's pretty.
That's great.
I'll just reiterate, I'm gonna go check my bill when I get home.
Yes.
On that. Public comment, I don't think, had anybody.
We did
for public comment on there. Next, we've got, I'll try not to miss her. Miss Allison Kemp Sullivan for the new middle school update.
Good evening, board. First of all, when I reached out to the design team, they were so stoked about the $12 million. They actually couldn't believe it. So, I said, what are y'all doing?
I kind of dropped a hint on Wednesday, but I wasn't quite sure what I was dropping a hint about, so.
Yeah. The design team is working to, make the changes to the building that everyone agreed to. The, building length is, being downsized by about 25 feet. They're making adjustments to the civil, structural, architectural, mechanical, electrical plans. We are also seeking the board's approval for an increase in design fees per the contract with Clark Nixon. And this is per the terms of the AI contract. They have submitted an amendment that addresses this increase. It's based on the construction budget. Also, they're asking for additional fees for the soil engineer that they're bringing onto their team. We have received the transportation impact analysis. It's a draft form right now. We're asking them to look at a few things on it and waiting for the final study. So that's pretty much it. Everybody's working hard.
There is the Clark Nixon, the update that I'm sure that you read that's in there, that also has the timeline updated. We included that timeline in the grant that allowed us to get the extra $12 million. And of course, at the end of it, gives the updated amount, and that will require approval. I don't know whether you want to do that now or wait until it's a little bit later on in the agenda.
Down on the agenda.
I do have a question on the list under the steel foundation package. You said not accepted. I'm sure there's a good reason for that. I'm just curious what it was.
So those are packages if we want to do an early site package and an early still package. It's, they would have to do a separate design for those things. Where, you know, how this process has gone, we weren't sure if those were gonna have to be done separate or not. Right now, we don't think they are, but it's a line item right now we can take if we have to. So we're hoping we don't have to do that. That's why we aren't taking them right now. I budgeted for them, but we don't take them.
Any other questions?
Well, a question about, did I hear you reference an increase in the amount that we'll be paying Clark's Nixon?
It's part of the contract. The construction budget goes up, just the cost of work, the fee goes up. It's a standard thing in the AA contract. We had to do the same thing before too. We had an amendment before as well.
It's unfortunate.
It is.
I mean, with the CRM and all that I thought that we passed, I thought that when we locked in on a price, we were gonna be good with that price. Are we just not that, or are we just not at that point yet?
This is the design fee with Clark Nixon.
Yeah, I understand.
Yeah, okay.
So
I mean,
when will we not have any more increases? When will our community know what this is costing? And the bottom, it's done.
well, I mean, I had budgeted for this. On our $96 million, I did budget for that.
So this falls in the
Oh,
90.
yes.
Okay.
I did.
That wasn't clear.
Okay. Oh, yeah.
before.
I did budget for this. Oh,
Okay.
yes.
All right, good.
Yes. Oh, yes. Yes.
Any other questions? you don't care to hang tight, we'll vote on it.
Oh, yeah, okay. I'll go back.
Now we'll start into action items. First, under the action items, we have personnel. Under there, do I have a motion to approve the personnel?
Mr. Chairman, I make a motion, we approve the personnel as presented.
A second.
I second.
Any questions or comments? All those in favor, raise your hand. Motion carries. So,
Can, on the personnel agenda, announced is the new principal of Mountain View Elementary School. And so, Mr. Jerry Grable, would you like to come up and, be introduced as the new principal of Mountain View Elementary School?
congratulations.
He's coming around. Yes. Thank you. Congratulations.
I think Dr. Cox, we can mention with that, that means we are having a retirement of our current principal, Mr. Blackburn. I guess this will be your last meeting? Are you, he's smiling.
Coming back.
He's smiling. Yeah, you are welcome to visit any Monday, first Monday of the month, around 6 p.m.
Well, and we'll be doing more celebrating of Mr. Blackburn at a later time. But we do want to thank you, David, for your service to the children and families of Ashe County. Wow, what a wonderful, wonderful term you've had as principal and assistant principal. And we're just really proud that you chose Ashe County. Your daughters were here and your wife is here. Hopefully we don't have any new retirements after this one. But we're thankful for you.
Thank you. It's been a blessing to work in this school. Everybody's been super nice, parents and teachers.
And his dad was my principal at elementary school at Lansing. Yeah. Next, we've got on the board agenda is the consent agenda. We have grouped several things together that the board has considered in the past, as well as the minutes from the past meeting and a few overnight trips there. So these will all be approved at one time. So do I have a motion to approve the consent agenda?
I make a motion, we approve the consent agenda.
Do I have a second?
Mr. Chairman, I second.
Any questions or comments? Hearing none, all those in favor, raise your hand. Motion carries. Let's see, next we've got the MOU with Caldwell Community College.
Yes, this is me. Ladies and gentlemen of the board, we have a MOU proposed for you all to approve tonight for a partnership agreement with Caldwell Community College and Technical Institute. This is specifically for early childhood education, students who are wishing to come and get some field service hours in our schools, some short-term, some longer-term. Board Attorney Fred Johnson has approved this agreement. And I feel good about it. You know, we won't get too many students from Caldwell, but they're obviously reaching out because we've had somebody there who's expressing interest in partnering with our school system, probably a former student of ours. So I'd like to propose that we approve this agreement form.
Do I have a motion to approve this MOU?
Mr. Chairman, I move that we approve the MOU.
Do I have a second?
I'll second.
Any other questions or comments? All those in favor, raise your hand. Motion carries. Next, we've got the permission to apply for the National Institute of Health Grant Opportunity at the mouth. Ms. Little.
Good evening, board. So I'm here begging you to allow me to apply apply for some money, because often they get their money. We have had an opportunity presented to us through RTI, who we partner with on a couple of other grants. They kind of brought it to us because they thought Ashe County would be a good fit, given our structure that we have already. This one would be, and they would actually, RTI would be the grant holder, which would be a change, and we would be a sub-awardee. But, it would be working alongside our hospital and our health departments and medical providers, to do what's called a systems level, change, as in how we are serving students who are actively in mental health crisis or suicidal. And so what we see a lot of times is that our students are, in crisis and they may go away for a little bit, but there's just not a lot of care, and hands where they need to be to kind of transition them back. So this is actually, it goes right in line with, our community is doing a community mental health on some changes that are needed. And this would actually address a lot of those grant goals and needs that we're seeing there as well. But the school just needs to be a huge partner, because we're seeing the most, and a lot of times they're in crisis with us, and we're helping manage it. So we're requesting, this would be, potential for $2.5 million over the 5-year period.
Do I have a motion to approve this grant opportunity?
Mr. Chairman, I make a motion, we approve this grant opportunity.
Do I have a second?
I second the motion.
Any questions, Little comments?
Jamie, how is this different than the one that we've already got?
So our current one is a rural mental health grant, and we actually took it to school-based mental health with our kind of pitch with our Ask Center. So that is to specifically work with the pipeline of therapists and providers that work in schools, which is what we've been kind of doing with our Ask Center and training those students to become mental health therapists. This is really to help our students more on it's like a systems level change. So we kind of are we're going to work with the hospitals and the providers on a different level, and families. It's not really based in the school all the time. It's kind of pushing out.
Any other questions? Hearing none, all those in favor, if you will, raise your hand. Motion carries, don't go anywhere, you're on names, so just keep going.
Permission to apply for another one. This one is one that while we were working on this one, came to our attention. So this is through the CDC, the Center for Disease Control. It is specifically for rural counties. It's a much smaller grant amount. It's about $40,000 over, I think it's 5-year, I think it's 60 months as well. And it's really a demonstration grant to see what is working in schools and to support students. And so really what they're doing is looking at a lot of the things we already have in place, and they're just going to track the data of what's working, and then potentially they would be able to help with an app help person that would be part-time with them and part-time with us to be able to help us with health education and push into the schools based on some of the data that we're seeing. So if we see that our students are struggling with vaping, if we see students are struggling with obesity or diabetes, and they come in and help us sort of where the need is. And really the grant part, the research part is that we will be providing and helping data that's be identified, cannot track it, use data, looking at our youth risk behavior data, which we already use, and talking to kids and providers and teachers to see what they're seeing, how kids are feeling, and just look at really close, take a really close look at what's working in schools.
Will I have a motion to apply for the CDC grant?
I move that we.
Do I have a second?
A second.
Anybody have any questions or comments on this one from Ms. Little? Hearing none, all those in favor, raise your hand. Motion carries. Let's just go to accelerate the grant.
Okay. So this one I ran across, and we're looking for additional funds for after-school programming. So I'm not sure that it's going to actually work for after-school programming, but it's going to maybe, we hope, potentially fill a need when our ESSER funds are gone for tutoring. And so this one is called an Accelerate grant. And it really is about tutoring inside the school. It would really extend on the things that are already happening with our NCA core tutors, and maybe a way for us to keep that level of service available to our students, especially in our elementaries. And there were 3 different tiers, not even sure at this point which one we fall into, but the lowest tier is $150,000 a year, and the highest tier was about $400,000 a year. And it's just, it really is focused on reading and math instruction during the school day. And then there are some evaluations of like if it's working or not, but it really, those funds are for personalized, individualized tutoring.
Do I have a motion to the Accelerate grant?
So said.
Do I have a second?
Second.
Okay.
Polly, second.
Any questions or comments?
I did have a couple. Are the parents going to have to agree for this? Because I know there's a research piece to it.
So any data that would be collected on individual students, yes, would be, but the way it looked like it's that we would be evaluating the number of tutoring hours that were going in. So I don't know that it would be specific student level data. It would look at school level. Did your EOGs go up in this area if there was tutoring provided? So I don't know the level that it's going to go down, but there would not be any specific student data. And if so, if there's anything like that, of course, we would get parent, but I don't foresee that. I don't think that's included in this one.
Okay, well,
If it is, I will let you know.
yeah, it talked a lot about the kind of research and all that
Yes.
kind of stuff. And
I think it's generally looking at countywide school level data, grade level data, but I don't think down to the child.
Any other questions? All those in favor, raise your hand.
There is so much snow here, they have to make piles like this just to be able to clear the roads. It's like this all over town. There is enough.
Next, we've got on there is what Ms. Sullivan, Ms. Ellison Sullivan was asking about earlier. So we've got the new middle school, Clark Nixon design contract.
So Allison and I'll tag team on this one. She muted.
Remain underway from the ground and from the air. A lot of smoke coming from it.
There you go. Okay. Sorry.
Okay, so, sorry, Dr. Simmons, I wasn't clear on the question you had, but we have budgeted for the amendment increase. This is, goes along with the increase in the construction budget. So this is what we're requesting action on from the board. Does anybody else have any questions on this?
Any questions? None, then I'll entertain a motion to approve the contract amendment for the new middle school.
I move that we approve the contract amendment.
Okay. Do I have-
Second.
Any other questions or comments? All in favor, raise your hand. Motion carries. Thank you for hanging out a little bit. Next, we've got on here consideration for approval of the 24-25 school calendar.
I just want to say, last time when we brought it to you, the calendar committee had 2 solid calendars they were recommending, or their favorite was one that started before the calendar law allowed. However, after consideration, after talking to some lawmakers and really thinking about it, our recommendation is for you to approve the calendar that is in compliance with the calendar law and start students on August 19th.
Sensitive national defense information. That's my lawful disclosure.
Background noise on your end, sorry.
Were unfathomable, but also the shocking
It sounds like the TV's on.
in which technology.
Okay. So entertain a motion to approve the calendar per the request of administration. That will start August 19th. Do I have a motion to that effect?
Mr. Chairman, I move that we approve option one that complies with the state law.
Do I have a second to that motion?
I'll second.
Any other questions or comments? Hearing none, all those in favor, raise your hand. Motion carries. Next, under action, we've got the added item of the ACMS Ashe County Middle School roof on there.
It must be our week for good news, because today the county commissioners agreed to pay half of the cost of a new middle school roof. And so I would like to make the motion that we accept that, our half, and that discussion will happen on March 11th during our meeting, our budget meeting, to determine how we will pay the half, because I think it's an emergency that we get that roof done as quickly as possible. And I appreciate the commissioners for being able to, they've been very supportive. So I'm really excited that they are stepping up and helping us with this project.
Making my notes. Sorry, Roy. So I've got a motion on the floor. For that, do I have a second to the motion?
Do I need to shorten it? That was a long one.
No, I don't know what you have.
You got it,
Yeah.
Where'd you get to, Roy?
Diane Eldred announced.
Okay. I make a motion that we accept the money the commissioners are giving us for a roof, and that how we're gonna pay for that, to give Amanda a heads up and all that on, during our budget session on the 11th. Is that good enough?
That's good.
Okay.
Okay,
I second that.
okay. So we do have a motion and a second. Any questions, comments?
Well, I'd like to make the comment that I appreciate that they're helping us out with this in such a timely manner, because this should enable, hopefully will enable us to be able to get this done this summer. And I know that getting bids and all of the other details that have to be done before the work can even start means we're pushing that envelope of time pretty hard, so.
After I saw the pictures Friday of the gym leaking, it looked like we were outside in the rain. Huh?
That's a new leak.
A new one, so we need to get that roof done. We're not done with that school yet. Allison hasn't got us in the new building yet, so we're gonna need that building for a while. So I'm very excited about being able to get something done to that roof.
Any other comments, questions? No? All those in favor, if you will, raise your hand. Motion carries. Next, we've got updates and discussions. Or as Willie Nelson says, on the road again with policies. So policy update.
So there were, at the last board meeting, it was asked to bring back, to start policies again. And so I spoke with Fred, the board's attorney, and he is modifying a policy to bring to you all for 9,300 for naming or renaming facilities. And he's going to have the legalese necessary in there, and it's something that he said that he has done for Surrey Community College. And the honoring committee that was proposed as a part of that policy. He does have, or he's creating, and based on our recommendations, an administrative procedure to go along with the policy. And so when that is finished, which it should be shortly, he will bring that, or I will bring that to you at the April board meeting, but I'll send it to you as soon as I receive it, so you have some time to digest it. But it will be a policy and an administrative procedure on top of that. And again, he's created something very similar to this recently for another entity. And so that was one. And so secondly, and this we will have to you on Monday as a part of our budget considerations. We have a 3-year plan for policy updates that we can do through the North Carolina School Boards Association. And it would also include housing our policies on their site, which most districts do. Currently, our policies are housed in Google, and if any of you checked our policies about a week and a half ago and they had all disappeared, yeah, we were in a little bit of a panic. I think it was because we were on an old version of Google. But this would put it on their site. They would maintain those policies. And as we do the transition, they'll house all our current policies. And then you'll see them side by side, our current policies and then the new policies. So as you guys do them, you'll be able to see which ones we've tackled and which ones we have not. And so that's a part of what we will bring to you on Monday, the 11th, as a part of our budget work meeting.
Any questions for Dr. Cox? I will have more on Monday, so.
Yep.
Next, under updates, discussion, and considerations is a transportation update. It's Ashley.
I wanted to give you guys an update. I know you've seen the PowerPoint. And I want to go over some good things that we do in the transportation department. You need to know about. Power stamp and show. It's not fine.
I like your picture.
Thank you.
Where that was taken at, I've been trying to figure that out.
That was taken at the intersection of Shortcut Road and Highway 16. That's where I was there.
Okay.
On his morning bus ride.
Yeah.
Sometimes if it's pretty like that, he'll drive it in the opposite direction so he can come up and see that.
You're right. Well, that's a pretty picture.
She's pulling up here.
Okay, so again, our bus driver Charles Bear took that picture on his bus route one morning. And it's just a good indication that, we're gonna do an overview, he's at an overlook and the sun's coming up and so is the transportation department. So we'll highlight some for us, bus garage staff. We have Wendy Baker who came to us in October. Came from the CSS and she's done a marvelous job. She's done really quickly. Really keeps us all in line, keeps us on our toes with reporting and so forth. Next we have Teddy Absher, who does the fuel truck and also drives the bus route in the afternoon. Teddy makes sure that all the buses are filled, have their DDF fluid, oil, antifreeze, windshield washer fluid, all that stuff. And this week he has changed his schedule so that he can help Anthony deliver fuel 2 days this week to Blue Ridge and Middlesboro for their heating fuel using our fuel truck. These are all of our mechanics. So you can see their list of responsibilities there. They're the reason our buses run safely every day. In the sheet on the right-hand side is just an example of a 30-day inspection sheet. All of our buses, our wrecker, and our fuel truck have to be inspected for these guidelines every 30 days.
Can you tell us what some of the things that are in that inspection?
Sure. I mean, if they check the brakes, the thickness of the brakes, they check all the fluids, they check the tire tread. depth. They check. Can't see this very well, but they check the emergency doors, they check the front doors, they check the windows, they check the seat belts, they check the horn, they check the lights, they check the amber lights, the red lights, the stop sign, the walk arm, things like that.
Well, I'm looking at it on here. I can blow it up on my screen. It says clean slacks. What are some?
Flag adjuster, that had to do with the brakes.
Okay, well, see, it doesn't matter. I just thought he'd make sure that clean pants while I was working on it.
Not always.
Sorry. So that was the only one I didn't.
Okay, the next slide is just goes over the office accountability, the DPI. That's just the process where they check our office records, how we do things, and make sure it's per their guidelines. He comes once per year and checks, inspects buses, inspects our office inventory processes, our inventory. Yes, we have a parts room that we're responsible for doing inventory once per year in June. And then that we do a big report to DPI at the end of June to recollect your inventory.
So that inventory, can you give them an idea of how many pieces of stuff we have?
It's about 2,500 pieces. Really, we don't have to count the nuts and bolts and the strings and that kind of thing. There's a lot of filters, tires, brakes, all that kind of stuff. It's around $194,000 worth of product. The next slide is concerning the TIMS. I just gave a link there so you can get the history of that. And that's just so, it's good for me to go back and read that because when I'm learning something new, I want to know why I'm learning it. And so that helps me. And so that's our updates that we just had, met with the drivers, update all of our routes. That was a good process. I learned lots of things there.
So Lisa, can you tell me about the training for TIMS? You've been going through that. You've gone through the first two now or just?
I went through like 4 last year and you go like once every couple of weeks for 2 days to Charlotte, UNC Charlotte, and that's where, for our area, that's where our TIMS location is. And so you go in and it's just classwork, for 2 days each of those weeks. And it's just the various steps on TIMS that you have to go through.
And so you have to do Maris 1, 2, and 3?
Yes, you do, and you have to pass each section before you can go on. And what Maris is you just go in behind your map and you can add a new subdivision or you can add a new stop sign. When we get our new road, we need to add some new bump outs or add some new turns. And that goes on your TIMS map. And so when you're doing your bus routes, your timing is correct. You do your turnarounds in Maris, and that helps with your timing as well. And we travel 2,575 miles per day on our buses. That's each day, and we transport 1,498 students. Another thing that most people don't really know is that we provide fuel for our environmental services department for Ashe County. The fuel trucks, the trash trucks, they get our fuel from us. Also, Warrensville Fire Department, Pond Mountain Fire Department, and the rescue squad, we provide fuel to those folks as well. And we get reimbursed in our refund report at the end of the year.
So they take the fuel to them, or do they just
They
come
have,
to your fueling station?
no, they have one of our old tankers, our old fuel tankers, and then we bring it, Teddy goes and picks it up and brings it over and fuels it, and they just fuel their trucks out of that tanker. It was something set up a long, long time ago with Mr. Johnson, I think. And so the fire departments, we do deliver to Warrensville and to Pond Mountain Fire Departments. They have tanks that will hold 500 gallons or so. Pond Mountain, we go to maybe twice a year, and Warrensville every 3-4 months, not too often.
Does this only pertain to fire, rescue, those kinds of?
Yes, nonprofit.
Okay.
Yes. And then the rescue squad, they come to our offices. They're not far away.
Are they coming more since they've got the full-time
Yes,
driver than, you know, they got a full-time?
yes, yes, and that cruise there several times per week.
Yeah.
And also, so some upcoming teams projects, as we're getting ready for the next school year, we send out surveys to the rising seventh and ninth graders to find out what address they're gonna go to, do they need bus transportation, and that kind of thing. And then we'll compile that information and go in our database and move them from sixth grade to seventh grade. We gotta have a new school code for each different school that they go to. And then just some ongoing things that we just work on continuously there. We're driving bus routes. Attend training, you've got the bus driver handbook, you've got the Federal Drug and Alcohol Clearinghouse. You have to make sure your drivers are registered and get checked out on that. We also do the random drug screenings. So monthly inspections of our underground tanks has to be done too and documented.
How old are those tanks? Oh, no, I figured.
Yeah,
Don't sound so.
as old as the building, I'm sure. And then recruit drivers. I have one person who's going to be going through bus driver training. And yeah. Do you have any questions?
I had somebody call me one day, this has been a year or so ago,
Mhm.
and asked me, so we live on a road that the bus can't turn around.
Okay.
So what is their process? I forwarded them on to somebody, so I guess they figured that out, but I never heard the solution. But I mean, how do they go about getting a turnaround?
There's one road in particular that I know of, and it could be the same one you're talking about. And DOT has been down to check, and there's no way to make a bus turn without every single person on that road fills out or signs a petition or a letter sent to them by DOT. If they do that, then they can talk to the landowner and see if they can take some of their land in order to make this turnaround.
So it's the DOT's job.
It's the
if
DOT's
they-
job, yes, yes, and they do a great job of graveling our turnarounds whenever they get muddy and nasty. They do a great job.
They'll come out when we've had buses that have been stuck. The DOT has come out to help us through that inclement weather as well.
Yes. Any more questions?
You have your separate budget from, or is it a PRC code, Amanda?
She's state funded and she received a small amount of local funds.
Okay, so I would like to see more about the budgeting to get in my mind about how much we're spending for gas, how much we're spending on drivers and that kind of thing. I think that would be helpful for me to know that. Thank you.
That way we don't have a heart attack when we see those numbers for fuel.
We don't want you to have.
Any other questions? Sorry about my slacks, but I couldn't.
Hey, you're fine.
I couldn't. Well, thank you so much.
Thank you.
I meant to pull up my calendar. So we'll be meeting again in April. And we thought about, we used to go to the Arts Council, and I didn't know if we hadn't mentioned. That's
Yeah.
still the Young at Art exhibit.
So, on April 8th, I can look and see, if they are,
I
amenable.
know we've done that.
Holding us, yes. There's an art exhibit coming up,
We usually have
it's coming up soon. Art, I think it's
Don't they usually have a-
Arts Council Student Exhibit, is Friday, March 15th from 5 to 7. And that, so that's coming up next Friday, which is a teacher work day. And so they will have their, exhibit, at that point in time. And I want to say maybe some of our principals, might know when they've taken the art or when their last day to take the art to the Arts Council is. I had it on one of those dates, but I don't remember it off the top of my head.
Well, I Googled, work drop off date must be delivered to the Arts Center by Monday, March 14th, 10 to 5. And then reception on the 18th. And it'll be up to the 25th of April. Or is that the same one you're thinking? The
Only
young-
that that wasn't a Monday, but you said Monday, March 14th. Monday, March
That's-
11th is what,
Thursday,
Thursday's the 14th.
yeah. Is that when they have to have it delivered by?
I just knew that
Oh,
the 5
wait a
o'clock
minute.
is the arts council
That's what I
exhibit.
get for Googling. This is 2022. That's all.
It'll be on display next month for our meeting.
Yeah, it usually is. Didn't know if the board wants to continue to visit that.
I will
Yeah.
check and then we can announce it on Monday, on the 11th at our meeting.
Okay.
Yeah, their dates are March 14th through the
Okay.
22nd. So, okay. I just thought I'd mention that just to see. On there. Yeah, because the 1st of April is Easter Monday. So we will not meet the first Monday, we'll meet the second Monday. In April. Does anybody have anything further? Eighth, yeah. I thought we weren't meeting at first because it's April Fool's Day, but it's also Easter Monday. That is not. I don't know.
Well, April Fool's Day would not be the day that we would meet either.
No, no, I'll have them put together. It's just, so hearing nothing else, I'll entertain a motion to adjourn.
I will be adjourned.
I have a second.
Second.
Any other questions, comment? All in favor, raise your hands. Thank you, Ms. Jones.